Hello everyone, I just thought I'd turn the camera on today and give you a flip through of my masterboards going right back to the very first few that I ever created. When I first started doing these, I used to create them on the backs of cereal boxes, and I would literally open the whole of the cereal box up and just paint on everything, including the sides, the tops, the flaps, you know, anywhere that I could possibly put paint. It was just so liberating. I had such a few supplies when I first started doing this. I had, just a very few paints, a couple of stencils, a couple of stamps, and I would just literally grab mark making tools from anywhere I could find around the house. But, I still absolutely adore these to this very, very day. Just, lots of just really simple doodling. These were clearly inspired by Robin Marie Smith, who was really popular at the time that I got going. But, I just love these. So as you can see, right from the very beginning, I always scanned and had mine photocopied and kept the originals intact. Now, these are the side flaps. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got them stuck, so I even kept these bits and pieces as well, and photocopied. These just make the most wonderful borders, and these are just all held together just using a little bit of masking tape. But here they are. This is the photocopied version. Now this one here is clearly blown up to a 3 size, but I would just chop up bits and pieces as well. This is one of the original size pieces, but you can see that cut down to a smaller piece, they make the most wonderful abstract greetings cards. I've made concertina wallets. I've made absolutely all sorts with these. So after I got my Robin Marie Smith phase out of my system, I went on to crazy flowers. Started to introduce some metallics as well, but still crazy doodling. We've got bits and pieces of collage that you can see in some of these. Just so much fun. They're so bright and colourful. Lots of collage in this one here. We've got music paper, as you can see, and there's another one, but lots and lots of metallics. And again, I used these and had these photocopied as well, but I think the colours are so bright and cheerful. But you can see I would have these photocopied and then I cut them down. These became ATC size. I can remember as well making luggage labels out of these, and I think I've still got one on an old suitcase to this very day. But aren't they pretty when they're cut down into smaller pieces? And I do believe that this one here is still my thumbnail on Facebook and YouTube to this very day. Now, some of you that have followed me right from the very beginning will remember the masterboards that I used to make out of my drop papers, underpapers. Now, an underpaper is just a piece of scratch paper. This is chip shop paper or newspaper print that I used to have down on my surface to catch all of the excess paint, and it would build up over several weeks to something that you can see in the background here. You can see here that there's a piece of duct tape stuck to this. And then when they got messy enough and covered in enough paint, I would just doodle over the top of them and make gorgeous backgrounds. This is what they look on the other side, just really, really thin chip shop type paper here. And then I just grab stamps and stencils and doodle freehand as well, various bottle tops. I would use whatever I had. One of my favourite stencils at the time was the Dilutions jumbled letters stencil. Here we go. I think I had the smaller one and the larger one. In fact, actually, I think it had smaller numbers and letters as well as larger ones on the same stencil. I used to use it all the time. You can see pieces of washi tape in this, scribbles, doodles, all sorts, where I've written things down, and it all used to just get covered in paint. And again, I would take these off to the photocopiers as well. And this one here has been copied onto sticker paper. So here we go. We've got sticker paper here, and I would use this like a washi tape. But isn't that just beautiful? And again, if you cut these down into smaller pieces, they just look absolutely beautiful. And I would even sit there and doodle on small pieces of paper here. These were just out of a cheap little notebook that I had. These look like Dilutions paints to me, but aren't they pretty? The colours are just absolutely gorgeous. And again, I'd take these off to the printers. I'd have them blown up. I think this was probably blown up to either A4 or A3 size. And you can see that just cut up into smaller scraps. They just look gorgeous. You know, it's so interesting looking back and seeing the various phases that I went through. This here was throw as much at it as you can possibly fit on the page. I just absolutely love these. So various circles and squares, anything that I could find. And these were mainly made with things, found items from around the home. The big circles in the background that you can see here were the bottom of one of the large circular batteries. The square was some kind of lid of some sort. All of the circles are tops and lids of all kinds of descriptions. And the only stamp that I used was this one here. But I just think these are absolutely fabulous. They're fun, they're bright, they're colourful. And here's a blue version as well, all using household items. And I think this was for a prompt that we did 4 years ago, perhaps, in the Facebook group, which was to make a masterboard using non-commercial supplies. Isn't it fun? Then I started to experiment even further, and I went through more of a graffiti, grunge, street art kind of style. And I think these 2 pages here are my absolute favourite ones that I've ever done to date. This one here, my biggest regret is that I didn't scan this before I started using it. The other part of this page ended up as an art journal page when we were doing art journal prompts, which must be, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. So that's the rest of the page. I do want to have a go at this again, but even this little slither here that was left, I've had blown up onto A4 size. There it is. You can see the side here and the 2 dots there, and it's just gorgeous. This was printed double-sided, and I've used this for various projects in the past. I think I've made some of the concertina file folders from these. And then there was this one as well. I've got videos for most of these as well. If you look up my Masterboards playlist, which I'll leave in the description box below, you'll be able to find all of these. But this was made using a stamp set that Marina Hopkinson very kindly sent me in the post, with all kinds of circles and squares and retro shapes. The colours appeal to me. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. But again, I just cannot bear to cut it up. I've had this photocopied many times. Now, for those of you that have asked the question recently about printing on mixed media paper, this is the original here, and you can feel all the lumpy bumpy texture. I took a piece of A3 mixed media paper to my printers and had it printed onto that. Of course, they don't stock mixed media paper in your printers. You have to take it along with you, but it prints absolutely beautifully, and you would never ever know that this was a photocopy. It just looks and feels just like the original. And here's a small piece of it that was copied onto their 400 GSM gloss cardstock, and you can see the difference. It depends on what you're using it for and what you prefer. Now, this masterboard here was done 12 months ago, and I think I had a bit of a circle obsession. In fact, if my memory serves me correctly, we had a circle prompt in the Facebook group, and this is what I created. Now, this started off life as this here. I received some of the acrylic paper from Arteza to review, and it's just wonderful paper. I must do another masterboard on this because it's fabulous. It's got sort of like a gridded linen type texture. It's just fabulous. If I hold it up, I don't know whether you can see it. So it gives you the most amazing texture. So I took this off to the printers and had it photocopied onto mixed media paper. And then I just added circles until my heart was content. You can see that this is the original here, done on the photocopied version of this one here. And I've done all sorts with this. There is a video in my playlist showing what I made with this specific masterboard as well. And this is another background that I made using that Arteza acrylic paper pad, which is absolutely crying out for maybe a grunge page to be made with it. You can see all that gorgeous texture. So, maybe as a project, I'll do something with this. If you're interested in seeing what I can come up with this one here, let me know in the comments below. And And of course that brings us on to the ones that I did for the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium, for one of our prompts a couple of weeks ago. This is for this month's current Masterboards challenge. I think it's fair to say that I like colour, I like repetition. I think I've got, quite a distinctive style as far as my Masterboards go, but, they're all different and unique in their own right. These are just so much fun. Of course, this one started out as a plainer one like this, and I've just gone to town with all of my stencils. The same with this one here. They're very similar, just in different colourways. I do hope that you've enjoyed seeing that flip through of my Masterboards over the years, and how my styles and things have changed. Let me know which one is your favourite. And of course, if you want to see me do something with this bright and bold colourful background here as well, let me know in the comments below. But if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, because as I always say, it really does let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want to see future videos from me and get notified, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and bell notification. But thanks as always for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.